What's going on, everybody? This is Mason. You are tuning into the YouTube channel Wasatch Pop, guys. Hope you're having a fantastic day, fantastic week. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video, guys. Today, we are going to be talking about pops that you should buy now before they get really expensive. And now we base these off a couple of different things. We base these off of whether there's new movies or TV shows coming out, whether there's new pops or certain current events happening in the world that's relating to these specific things. And so that's kind of what we base this off of. So, guys, without any further ado, let's get started. All right, guys, so let's talk about this. So first one that I have on my list that you guys should be on the lookout for is the Mortal Kombat pops. And now there's a couple of different Mortal Kombat pops out there. I believe there's ones that are like they came out a while ago. There's two different kind of waves or whatever. They're both related to the video game, obviously. None of them to the movie that came out like in the 90s or 80s, whenever that movie came out. But yeah, so you should be on the lookout for the old Mortal Kombat pops. There are some ones that I remember specifically. There's like Sub-Zero, Scorpion. There's a couple of other ones like Goro and stuff like that. There's a bunch of different variants, but you should be on the lookout for those older ones rather than the somewhat newer ones, because those are going to be going up in price because of the new movie that's coming out pretty soon. They just released a trailer and it's actually pretty well received. A lot of people thought that the trailer looked really good for this new movie. And so I have a feeling, since there's not a ton of pops out there, that this is definitely, you know, something that people are going to be looking for once the movie comes out. Whether they make new pops or not, that would increase the value of those other ones as well. So if you're out and about and you see them, definitely consider picking those up if you're a Mortal Kombat fan sooner rather than later, because those are definitely going to be going up in price with that new movie coming out. All right, guys, this one kind of similar as well. So we have the Matrix, and some of those pops are actually pretty expensive right now. The only one that I can think of that's fairly expensive is Neo, I believe. Yeah, it looks like Neo is 80 bucks, and the rest of them aren't too badly priced, like Trinity, Agent Smith, and Morpheus. They're all in between $50 and $40. So I would definitely pick those up sooner rather than later. I know that the movie is coming out later this year. They haven't had like a trailer or anything come out, but I know that it's within that lineup with Warner Brothers stuff that is coming with HBO Max. I almost forgot what it was called. But yeah, be on the lookout for those. I know that those are older pops. They're kind of harder to find, but I could definitely see these guys getting like doubling in price, if not triple in price, right when this movie comes out. So I think now would be a decent time to go after these before they get even more expensive. All right, and then this one is kind of an interesting one, and I don't know, I'm kind of a little bit 50-50 on it, but I figured I'd throw it into this video to mention it to you guys. So I am talking about Cara Dune from The Mandalorian. And so you know that her actress was let go from the show, or fired, however you want to say it, for something that she said on social media. I don't really have an opinion on what's going on this, but pretty much all the licensed character toys and stuff of Cara Dune, in her character in the show and everything, they're being like pulled off of shelves because she's not in the show anymore. So Funko Pops, they always, you know, make a ton of Mandalorian Funko Pops, and I think there's two of her that are out there. There's one that's just like her normal one or whatever. There's like an FYE exclusive. Whether or not these will keep going up in price, I think it's anywhere from like 25 to 30 bucks. But if you can find them for retail at a store, I would highly suggest picking those up, because who knows? I don't know. It could possibly even go up even more, but if you can get it for retail for cheap and you're a Mandalorian fan, definitely pick this up, because it's a character that's not going to exist anymore. And so definitely I would be on the lookout for it if that is the case. All right, guys, another interesting story. So I want to talk about Mr. Potato Head. And so the company that makes Mr. Potato Head, I want to say, is it Hasbro? I believe it's Hasbro. They came out and said that they are changing the name of Mr. Potato Head. A lot of people were really confused about this or whatever, but it's basically just the logo of Potato Head. And so all it will be called now is Potato Head, but the characters will still be called Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. A lot of people were really confused about that, thinking, you know, they were making it gender neutral, which they kind of are in a way, but the overall brand is being called Potato Head. So I think you should be on the lookout for those pops that are cheap right now, whether that be Mr. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head, and then there's the Target exclusive one that he has like the mixed up face, basically. I think that one's probably going to be the one that's going to be going up in price even more, because on the front of the box, it does say Mr. Potato Head. And so since they're going to be changing that, a lot of those products are going to be obsolete. They're going to be trying to clear them out with the new branding of just Potato Head. And so be on the lookout for those. It'd be interesting to kind of see if those actually do go up in price. And it wouldn't surprise surprise me if they did because of that change. I thought this one was pretty cool too. So there is a Rugrats reboot coming out, and I think this will have an effect on the price of the Pops going up in value. And so this reboot, I believe, I don't know if it's coming on a streaming service or if it's on Nickelodeon itself, could be both, but they're doing from the 2D to the 3D style. And so there are a good amount of Rugrats Pops out there. Mainly there's like Reptar, Chucky, Tommy, Angelica, Spike, to name a few, and they could be coming out with more, I bet, with this new series or TV show that's coming out. And so ones you should be on the lookout for, obviously, is Tommy. He's cheap right now. Reptar's pretty cheap. Chucky and Angelica are starting to go up in price. And with that new TV show coming out, whether or not it's received really well, it's hard to say, but I could definitely see those going up in price even more because they're coming up on being like 4 to 5 years old. So since that reboot's coming, be on the lookout for Rugrats Pops. All right, I don't really know much about this one, but coming to America, since they have the new movie that's coming out really soon. I wanna say it's like this week or the next week here in March. But be on the lookout for those old ones. I believe there's a couple of different exclusives that would do the Funko Shop. There's one for Target. I'm not 100% sure what the price is right now, but if I had to guess, they will be going up because of this movie. So whether or not, you know, this announcement's a little bit late, maybe I should have talked about this last month with this new movie coming out, but I would just kind of keep an eye out to see what happens with those Pops if they go up even more. But if I were willing to guess with that new movie coming out, coming to America, I would definitely see them going up in value. All right, and then I wanted to talk about kind of the TargetCon effect. So TargetCon came out with a couple of different Pops or whatever last week, and I think it's gonna affect the price on some other ones that aren't too expensive right now, but I think they will go up in value. So what I'm talking about is the older Bullseye. So Bullseye is the mascot for Target currently, and they came out with a new one with a TargetCon shirt, Bullseye with a TargetCon shirt. And so I think those older ones are gonna be going up in value. So right now I think you can get them anywhere between like 35 to 50 bucks, which isn't terrible. There's also a couple of flocked variants as well that were a little bit more limited. And so those could go up even more in value because this one is up at the forefront and people are thinking about Bullseye even more and they're wanting to complete that Bullseye set. Another one that I thought of as well, so they came out with a flocked Tails from the Sonic games. And there's also a flocked Sonic that they came out with not that long ago for the Funko Shop. And so people are probably wanting to match that set. I believe it's I think it's the 30th anniversary that they're celebrating with those Pops for Sonic. And so since that flocked Tails came out, that flocked Sonic is probably gonna go up in price right now too. I think it's not going for any crazy values right now, whether it be like 25 to like 30 bucks. So that's a reasonable price. I could see this going up to like 50 or 60. So definitely pick up that Sonic Pop because people are wanting to match it with the Tails that just came out for TargetCon. And Rudy wants to be on my lap for the next couple of ones. But I just wanted to mention that you guys should be on the lookout for older animation Pops. This kind of goes along with Rugrats or whatever. There isn't really a couple that come to mind when I say older animation. So South Park is one that I've noticed is starting to trend a little bit. And some of those older Pops aren't crazy expensive right now, but they could be going up into like that 50 range here sometime soon. So I would be on the lookout for those older animation Pops of South Park. A couple other ones that I want to mention as well. Like Nickelodeon shows, like old Nickelodeon shows like Hey Arnold, those are cheap right now. There's like Helga, there's Arnold, Gerald, those are pretty, you know, pretty much retail right now. Like Cat Dog is starting to go up in price. So older Nickelodeon cartoons and other, you know, animation stuff like that, I would be on the lookout for. Keep an eye on those because those could be going up in price. And then the last one that I wanted to mention here, there is a new series on Amazon of the Lord of the Rings. That's a TV series that's going to be coming out this year. They haven't announced it quite yet, but right now, if you can, get those Lord of the Rings Pops for cheap. I know the Hobbit Pops, since those came out a while ago, those are a little bit more expensive, but the Lord of the Rings ones, I think the one that's worth the most, it's like a 2-pack that released for San Diego Comic-Con. It's like Aragorn and I can't remember who else was in it. That one's worth like 150 bucks, but the other ones are pretty reasonable. Most are below $30 or even lower than 20 bucks. And so with that new series coming out, I would be on the lookout for those Lord of the Rings Pops because they're gonna be getting expensive with that new series, and I think you'll probably regret it if you're a Lord of the Rings fan and don't already have them when they are more valuable. And guys, that's it for pops that I feel like are gonna be expensive here pretty soon. So if you thought of any more, let me know in the comment section below what you think are some pops that you feel like are gonna be going up in value, whether that be due to movies or current events or whatever it is. Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos like this one. Guys, thank you so much for watching again. You guys are awesome and the best. Remember to be kind of one another and always promote positivity, and I'll see you in the next video. Catch you guys later.